Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button for me. It'll really help out. It supports my channel. Then leave a comment, hit the like button. All those things help out. And as an added bonus, of course, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music. Just like this, we are going to take a look at the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition of U2's album, All That You Can't Leave Behind. This box set came out October 30th of 2020, but the album itself, the original album, actually came out in 2000, hence 20th anniversary for this. It was their 10th studio album, and it was originally going to be called U2000, which I think is an interesting title, although I do like All That You Can't Leave Behind. I think that's a better title, but it would have been interesting if they had used the U2000 for the tour or something like that. And this was the follow-up to their 1997 album Pop, which was one that experimented with dance music and something that the guitarist The Edge had said, which was that he felt that they had deconstructed rock and roll as far as it could go with their albums in the 90s and culminating with Pop, which was why they ultimately did a return to form on this album in terms of their sound and everything. But my opinion is that I actually think the album still broke ground in here, where it actually retained the sonic qualities of what they were doing in the 90s, mixing it with more the melodic, hook-laden qualities of the 80s songs. And so I think that this album here is a perfect bridge between the two periods of U2 and the sound, the two different styles of sound between the 80s and the 90s. And so part of what I think helped them do that was the fact that they brought back their two producers that had worked with them on 3 albums from their early period. And so we have Brian Eno and Daniel Lanois. And they had worked on Unforgettable Fire and then Joshua Tree, which of course went on to sell 25 million copies, and Achtung Baby, which sold 18 million copies. And so bringing these guys back in that had worked with them on 3 albums so that they really knew and understood the feel of the band and they could gel together, but also had worked with them on big successful albums like that, I think did have a hand in this. And this album here ultimately went on to sell 12 million copies, so another huge success for that team. And it featured 4 hugely successful singles: Beautiful Day, Walk On, Elevation, and Stuck in a Moment That You Can't Get Out Of, all of which led to the band ultimately winning 7 Grammy Awards for it. And so let's take a look now at the box set, 20th anniversary, as I said, and it's got 5 CDs in it. So the first disc is the remastered album. The second disc is B-sides, outtakes, and alternate versions. There's 9 tracks on it. Let me run through those for you. Kicks off with Levitate, Summer Rain, Stateless, Always, Love You Like Mad, Big Girls Are Best, Don't Take Your Guns to Town, which is a Johnny Cash cover song, Stuck in a Moment acoustic version, which is really fantastic in my opinion. I like this version a lot. And it closes with Flower Child. And then discs 3 and 4 is a complete unreleased live concert recorded in Boston, and it's got 19 tracks on it. And disc 5 is a disc of remixes. It's got 11 tracks on it, 4 of which are previously unreleased mixes. So you do get a little bit of unreleased stuff that hasn't been out before as part of this package. And then it comes with a hardcover book done by Anton Corbin, the guy that does all of their photo shoots and everything. And it's a travel log book, so it's got some interesting takes on what was going on at the time. And then there's a cool double-sided poster. All right, so let's take a look at this. Comes in, hard shell, outer packaging. It uses the sort of emoji-looking suitcase that kind of became the symbol for the whole album and everything. Here's the spine of it. And the back side is the same thing, so no write-up of the track listing or anything like that on the outside. It's all on the inside. And then you can see here, this is like a box over a box, but then it starts off on the graphics, and we just start to slide it out here, and you start to get what all of that is, which I think is really cool how they've done this. It's got all their song titles and things like that on it. and it just wraps around like that. And then over here you see that it's got these two book-like things that are in here. We get the Anton Corbijn book down here, and we get the one that holds the CDs and everything in here. And so again, we just start sliding those out here. And what I like about this here is that here's the book and the thing that holds the disc. We'll go through the book in a moment. But the thing that holds the 5 CDs is like a vinyl in terms of its size, the 12 by 12 kind of a thing. And so it does replicate that like the album artwork and everything. So you're still getting that with this package. And then when it opens up here, you get the remastered disc here. But it opens up like a large scale sort of, digipack in here with the 4 other discs. And so you get the outtakes, B-sides, alternate versions. You get the 2 live discs that are in here, and then you get the remixes that are in there. And then this part that's over here has the booklet and poster in it. So let me pull those out for you here so we can take a look at this. So poster and booklet, and we'll look at that in just a moment. But these booklets, this is basically a reproduction of what the CD booklet was, but these have been coming out a lot in these. I've got a bit of a gripe with that because they're so flimsy at this size. I wish they had a little bit of a hardcover shell to it, and or it had been grouped in with the Anton Corbijn book, which is a hardback book. But still, you do get this information, and it's got the lyrics in it, and it's got, really great photos that Anton Corbijn had taken originally as part of the photo shoot that kind of became so synonymous with this album and everything. And then you get, the additional information on the other 4 discs that are part of this package. That information is in here as well. It's not in the other hardcover book. The Anton Corbijn one is more like a standalone coffee table style book. So you do get that. And then you do get this really nice poster that's in here. It's kind of interesting the way that it's folded up and done. Very graphically done and is beautiful. And you get 2 cool things. You get this one here, which is the graphics, like the box that has all their song titles and everything on it. And then you get the other side, which is like an outtake from the album shoot cover there. So cool double-sided poster, nice large scale one there. And then sort of the crowning part of this is the book. Really great photo log of it that Anton Corbijn did. And it has write-up in it from him about his thoughts and everything, but these thoughts are present day. And so as opposed to it being something that was written at the time, documenting it, he's going back now looking at these outtake shots and compiling thoughts about what was going on. What I also like are things like this, where he adds a little penmanship and fleshes out some of these photos, embellishing them, which I think is kind of cool to see, what's in his mind and what's going on. But the behind the scenes take on everything that he writes up in here, I think is pretty cool and is definitely worth reading. It would have been nice though if there had been a history of the band and that sort of stuff. But, I guess with U2, that stuff is also well known, which is also why I didn't cover, their original history and whatnot. But I did want to give you a little behind the scenes for the album's sake, because that information is not in here. There are some really great photos. I think this is really well done. I like the move between the black and white and color that's in here, and seeing a lot of these outtake shots. There's some in here that I actually think are, better than the original album shots. But of course, that's, hindsight's always 20/20. You're always going to think, see something and maybe think it was better than it was. But if we had seen it the other way around, I might have been saying that about the current, album takes of everything and stuff. So really cool book, all in all. And there's, some good material on this with the B-sides, the remixes, the live stuff. You really get a nice feel for the entirety of the album and the package and everything that went on for the entirety of All That You Can't Leave Behind. So I think they did a nice job in terms of a 20th anniversary celebrating the full aspect of what the album was, both its B-sides, its remixes, the full album being remastered, and of course the live stuff. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any memories of the band during this time, if it was a seminal album for you, and or if you happen to see the band on the tour or anything like that. I always think those things are fun to reminisce about. All right, take care, everyone. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you all real soon.